Tonight I'm joined by Brandon, and Brandon had a set of very unusual encounters that started all the way back in 2018, and he wants to come on the show and share these encounters because something excites me about Brandon. And Brandon is a local to the city of Cairns, where I live, and it is so incredibly rare to get someone from this region to come forward and talk about encounters. So I'm super excited that you've decided to come on the show tonight there, Brandon.
Hey, g'day, Kate. Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me on the show. And I've been looking really forward to coming on.
Oh, mate, it's a real pleasure to have you on here because, like I was saying, we don't really get a whole bunch of encounters around this region. And we are in one of the most lush tropical areas of the world, essentially. And
yep.
the fact that I know people are having encounters in this area with, you know, strange creatures in the bush, strange lights in the sky, and I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's a small town thing that they don't want to come forward and talk about it. But, mate, hats off to you for coming forward because I'm really, really stoked that you did. And, mate, can you walk us back to 2018 and basically tell us where this all started for you?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Kate. Yeah, sure. I sure can do, mate. Okay, so it would have all started in 2018. Now, the very first thing that started it all off for me, I was here in Cairns in my mum's house, and I was just resting on the couch, and I ended up dozing off and falling asleep. Now, this is the first time I'd had anything like this, or like anything strange like this happen to me at all. Like I was a non-believer before all of this stuff. I thought sleep paralysis was bullcrap, all that stuff. And anyways, I'm lying there, and then I'm in this dream state all of a sudden, and it's nothing bad. It only lasted for about 30 to 40, 45 seconds, maybe a bit longer. And I was just doing exactly what I was doing in real life, just lying on the couch, but I couldn't move. And it wasn't scary or anything yet. I was just sort of like, oh, well, okay, I can't move. This must be what like sleep paralysis is. It went through my mind quickly, and then I woke up, and I was like, oh, okay. Didn't think really too much of it. Just thought, okay, that's sleep paralysis. And then about 3.5 months later, I ended up moving down south to my auntie and uncle's house, Andrea and Pat. And because they're really good people, they've taken me in a few times. I've moved in, lived in their house with them a few times. So anyways, I was there staying with my auntie and uncle, my cousins, and I was looking for work while I was there. And then this would have been the second thing that started, like this is where it continued from. And this is where it got pretty much crazy from this next sleep paralysis dream. One night I was lying in the room that I stayed in the spare room, and because I have really bad insomnia a lot of nights and I can't sleep, and I was lying there trying to get to sleep, tossing and turning, and I had a really sore back too. So I just kept rolling over, and I kept looking at the time, and an hour kept going by, and then another hour. And then the last time I looked, it was about 12 or 1 o'clock. And then out of nowhere, this is where I can't explain this part. It's so hard to explain. It's like, imagine not going to sleep, like feeling yourself slowly falling asleep, or like it was just like someone had paused time like that, and then all of a sudden, like put me in this strange state and then unpaused time. And then it was like, bang, I was just in this thing. Like I didn't go to sleep. It just happened out of nowhere. I can't explain it. It's the weirdest thing. It was like the first thing I remember seeing were all these colors, mainly gold, like a real yellowy gold sort of color, but then a little spiral of like rainbowy colors too. And then while I was lying there on my back, something started, like I couldn't move, but I could feel the force of something started shifting me, like moving my body around while I was on my back. And then it slid me to the side, and then it rolled me on my side, like on my left side, and then I spun around like clockwise and counterclockwise on my left side, and then it rolled, and then I flipped onto my stomach. Done the same thing, like both ways, spun around, and then it flipped me onto my right side. Done the same thing again, spun me around a few times, And then the last time I flipped over onto my back, and then I floated up off the bed. And as I was floating up off the bed, I remember getting this, like just before I hit the roof, because the room I was staying in, it was a sliding closet with like a mirror, a sliding door mirror. And we took the doors off so I could put my TV on the wall in there on a mount. And yeah, I remember as I was floating up, I could see into there, but I couldn't actually see into there. I could see the opening of it. It was real dark. And I know this sounds weird. I can't explain it, but there was like, I could feel there was something in there, something like whatever it was controlling what was going on. It was like a puppet master or something. I could feel whatever this was making this happen to me was coming right from there. And he was watching me right from there, whatever it was. And then, yeah, anyways, I hit the roof and then I woke up, and I was that tired and that exhausted from it that right there and then I didn't even think really nothing of it. Like I just literally turned over and went back to sleep. But then the next morning I woke up, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, whoa, fucking hell, that shit, like that wasn't just a dream, or like that was actually like a real thing. I don't know what that was, but like I suspected it was sleep paralysis. But then, yeah, so I woke up, I started searching up, doing all this research on sleep paralysis and the things that can happen. And I was like, oh yeah, that's sleep paralysis. And straight away I rang my mum and my mum's boyfriend, because they were up in Cairns. And when I was down in Melbourne, and I rang them and I said, oh look, I think I've had sleep paralysis. Like I was telling them everything about it and what happened to me, and they're like, oh, like that's crazy, holy crap, like, you know, like that's definitely sleep paralysis. And then yeah, like for them few weeks after that, I was so scared to go back to sleep. Like I started, because my cousin, he's into Jesus Christ. Yeah, so he was giving me, like I was asking him, I was like, man, have you got Bibles or like crosses and stuff I can take into the room, because I was that scared of that thing happening again. It was just such a terrifying feeling. And for them few months actually, no more sleep paralysis happened. But from then on, I had the Bible and the crosses in my room, but from then on I was starting to have like a little minor haunting happening to me. Like every night before, I'll just nearly be asleep. Like just, you know, when you're on that verge of half awake and half asleep, you're not really awake and not really asleep, like just almost asleep. And then my bed would either rock, like it would shake, like pretty violent, it was pretty forceful. I could feel it. It'd always wake me up. It was either that, or I could feel unmistakably like it's Melbourne. It's really cold there. And like, this is even without heaters on. But either way, my auntie's house, she has inducted heating. So it's up on the roof. So like you can't feel, and it's at the end of my bed anyways too, like it comes down on my feet. So you can't feel nothing from that on my face. This was like someone's breath, like unmistakably someone's breath breathing into my face, really hot. Like it was, yeah, either one or them two, one or the two happening to me every time before I went to sleep. And yeah, that went on for months and months. And then that sort of like just stopped. And then I was living in Melbourne for about another few more months, and that kind of stopped. And I thought all that stuff had stopped, and I moved back to Cairns. And this is when I moved back to Cairns, back down to my mum's house. And then now this would have been probably like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months, 6 months, something like that, after Melbourne, when I got back to Cairns. Now, this one night, it was about nearly midnight, or about 11:30, me and my mum were leaving our house from Bentley Park, and we're heading to the servo down the road, and we're going to the ATM to go get smokes, to get money out and then go to the servo and get smokes. And then, yeah, on the way back, after we got the things we needed, on the way home, so I live on 13 Wessel Street, and the street, like when you walk down the end of my driveway, like stand out the front of the house and walk down, if you look left, there's a street right there that kind of goes up. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, like at Trial Street, just goes right up, like right there. If you walk to the left and then it goes up. We're coming back from Trial Street and we're getting ready to turn left to go towards our house. And Now, this is the thing that gets me the most. This is where me and my mum are always like, I don't understand why no one else seen or heard this thing. We don't know why. It was just us. It was so strange. And yeah, it was a really, really dark, it was weird too. It was like a really dark night. I can't explain it. And like, it was like something was, I can't explain it. It was like something was making the whole neighborhood. It was just really unusually dark. And like we were commenting before that happened anyway, like about how dark and stuff it was too. And it was a real rainy, muggy, humid night. And yeah, anyways, went to turn left towards the house and I looked to the right down to the end, the other side of Wetzel Street. And I noticed this figure straight away, the first thing on someone's front lawn, like right there on the gutter. I've seen this long, dark, black shape. And just first thought, when I first looked at it, I was like just first, in the first few seconds, I was like, oh, that's a person. But then as I started looking more, I was like, hold on, something's not bloody right here. I was looking at him and he was like, this thing was on all fours. It was so low to the ground that like where his belly was nearly touching the ground, like a crocodile, almost, but not touching the ground. It was just off the ground still. But he was still really like able to move around real quick and like agile, like a cat sort of, even though he was that far down to the ground. And he's moving back and forth, these really strange freaking movements. And I'm like, Mum, I go to my mum, hey Mum, do you see that over there? And she looks over and I was like, what is that? What are we looking at? And what is it doing? And then she's like, oh, I don't know. Like, and then as like we're saying this, she starts turning left, like to go towards our house. And then me, like, just because I was just curious, being a dickhead, like I sort of winded down the window and like stuck my head out the window and was like, sort of thing, oh, like, what are you doing, mate? Like, what are you crawling around on the ground for like an idiot sort of thing? And like, as soon as I said that, this thing, I swear to God, this thing jumped up. It would have been at least seven feet tall, I reckon, or more. It jumped up so quick on two legs, and this scream, I've never heard anything like it. It was like, I said a caveman at the start, but now that I think about it all the time, it's more animalistic, like it was like a caveman, but more like, I don't know, like an animal, like a beast or something, I don't know. But it stood up and this thing just bloody goes, never heard nothing like it, the way it bloody, and it was so long and it was so loud. Like we were in the car, like I only had that my side window down, but it felt like, and he was like a good, I don't know, like, how far back would you say, like 10 meters or something like that, back from behind the car. When he made this yell, it was so loud that it was like in our heads. Like, it was weird. It was like it was in our heads. And that's later on, that's what me and my mum always talk about. We're like, I don't think no one else heard that out. I think I think it was like some sort of telepathic thing that he did. He screamed at us, but it was like in our minds sort of thing. Yeah, it hurt. That was my mum. She's listening to. Yeah. Our heads actually shook, like our heads vibrated from it. And after he done that, I looked back, and after I said that too, I'm like instantly kind of shitting myself. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then after it's yelled like that, this thing comes, it full on chased us down the street on all fours. It kept up with my mum's car on all fours. And Mum was doing about 60 or nearly 70 Ks in the street, because she started freaking out, like trying to get away from it. And yeah, this thing bloody kept up with us. And I'm looking back at it, and I can, like, it was weird because, like, I don't know why everything was dark, and the street light was out too. It was almost like it was meant to be like that or something. I don't know. It was weird, but so like we couldn't see full features, but I could definitely see the shape of this thing and like the size of it, and I heard it and the way it ran after us, like for a good, I don't know, 20 to 30 or maybe more. Could have even been less than that, because in the moment, I don't know, like, but yeah, this thing just kept up with my mom's car, and like we went, so not the way I seen it, yeah, obviously, like the way we turned left, and then we kept going straight up to the end of the road and turned left and went around the block. And I was actually telling my mum to like pull up. She wouldn't at the start because she was freaking out that much. Like I said to my mum, because she was driving, she didn't see it at the start. I seen it first, but then she seen it. But I said, Mum, he's running after us on all four legs. And she was just like, yeah, like, you know, when people, like, when they see a spider and they're like, yeah, like that sort of, she was like that sort of thing. Like, she got the shivers and she just freaking floored it. And like, when we got out of the street and went around the block and we couldn't see him anymore, I'm going, Mum, like, turn around and go back, because he was running past our house and our garage, the shed was up. And I was like thinking, oh, like, what if he goes up into our house or something like that? Like, and then I eventually convinced my mum to pull up and turn around to go back to see, like, because I was curious too, and I just wanted to see what it was, and like if anyone else had came out to see what was happening. But we went back, we went around the block, we went back, and it was the strangest thing, because it was like he was gone. No one was out. It was like no one heard it, no one seen anything, and it was gone. And yeah, we were like, we got home, and then we ended up getting home. We told my sisters, and we told my mum's boyfriend. Yeah, I'm about to get to that bit. Yeah, we told my sisters, my mum's boyfriend about it, and I've told my cousins and everyone. Like, I'm ringing up all my friends and family and my cousins down south and telling them like what's just happened to me. And then, anyways, the next day, my sister, because we told my sister about it, the next day she went down to the spot where we seen him. And I think, I sent you in the photo of the footprint. There was a footprint there. And I got a pretty big size footprint myself. Like, I'm size 13, I think 12 or 13. And this thing was like at least a few inches longer than mine, or at least, about an inch and a half or 2 inches longer than mine. But it was really, like, it was long, but it was still wide, really wider than my footprint, wider than my foot. And it was like so deep, like a wild animal, like something really heavy, like a big, large animal left a real deep imprint. And it had, like, I can't explain it too, like, do you know, like, under dogs and big cats and bears' paws, how they have like the pads sort of thing on their toes? And yeah, them pad things, it was like that. Underneath the toes, there was like these extra pad things you could see that were on the toe, but they were making its own little deep impression. And yeah, and the hill was really triangular. It was so weird. It was like a triangular hill. Like, it came to a point almost the end of it. Yeah, that was, so we were like hung up on that for like months, and talking about that for months and weeks and everything. But then some other things happened to me. Now, this was only like within weeks. This was all within like 6 months of each other, or 7 months, something like that. But this was within only a few weeks after the Yowie thing happened. Now, one night I was sitting in my room, and my mum's boyfriend, Derek, his name was Derek, who was staying with us at the time. He's not here anymore, but he came in and he's like, "Hey, Brandon," he's like, "Here, come and have a look at this. I want to show you something." And he's like, "There's something really weird happening in the sky." And like, I was thinking, like, like, here we go. Like he's just, you know what I mean? There's nothing going on. He's just like being an idiot. So I went with him just to have a look to see like what he was talking about. Now, I don't know if he like seen them in the sky first and then they disappeared and he knew they were going to come back or something, like they were already doing that. So he knew they were going to do that, or if he was just being serious, like, because he either seen them or he was psychic, because he's like, "Oh, I'm telling you something really weird's about to happen." And I was sitting there with him for about 5 minutes at the front, watching the sky. He's like, "Just watch the sky." And I'm watching, I'm about to go in, and then all of a sudden, these lights light up in the sky. It was like in a triangle shape, with three lights, but in a triangle formation. And they just, lit up out of nowhere, and they just started like flashing all different colors and pulsating. And then they would, like, how do I explain that? Like, the top light would go off, but then as the top light would go back on, the bottom right corner one would go off at the same time, and it would, really quick. So it looked like one's always missing, like going around in a circle sort of thing. And that was that. And that only lasted for probably like 5 or 10 minutes, but we're watching them doing that. They didn't do anything else. They just sat there in the sky doing that. I don't think they were like orbs of light like, or anything like that. I think they were actual, I don't know, but yeah, to me, they looked like UFOs. Like, I don't know what they were. They were just these big lights floating up and like flashing all different colors in the sky in a triangle formation.
It's funny you say that, because I saw a very similar UFO myself in Cairns, facing down towards the southern area where you live. And from my perspective, like this could have been something completely different, because I don't remember the exact day that this happened. But this UFO was doing basically the same type of thing, where it would have this one had more lights. I reckon the one I saw maybe had 6 or 8 lights, but it was kind of doing that same thing where it's almost like a loading symbol where the lights are spinning round and round and round and round, and the one next to it is turning off, so it kind of looks like this circle's spinning round and round. So I know that kind of pattern that you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, it was very strange. Like, I've never seen it. Like, before these things happened to me, I was the type of person that was always like my ex-girlfriend. She was like, telling me about things that have happened with her family, and I was always like, oh, that's bull crap. Like, she told me about like this and that, and I was like I was actually real bad about it too. Like, I was one of them people that was like, no, that's bull crap. Like, I was real bad about it. But then this stuff happened to me. And then I became a big believer. And but it was really strange. I'd never seen any lights like that, anything like that. Oh, actually, one other time, I've seen another weird thing, but that's another story in the sky. But that was the only, but I thought that was something else, like, I don't know, like some government thing or something. But yeah, that was the only time I'd ever seen anything like lights like that, acting like that in the sky. Yeah, that was really weird. That was really bizarre.
Yeah. And where you live as well, like, it backs onto this massive mountain range. So whenever there's like choppers or planes or anything like that, you can really hear it, because it just kind of reverberates down the mountains to everyone in there, basically. Oh yeah, mate, 100%. Like actually, just the other day there was one going around, chopper, and all day, like, we hear it all day, like really loud sounding, like it's really low, but it's and it could be a kilometer up in the air. It's just the way the terrain works in.
That's right.
Where we are. So, if you're seeing these lights there for 5 or so minutes, you would have heard a sound.
Yes, that's right, for sure. Yeah, I didn't hear nothing, not a sound. It's completely silent.
Yeah, truly bizarre. And, there's so many weird lights that kind of get spotted in that southern corridor of Cairns, because you hear of lights around this massive kind of pyramid mountain that we have on the south side, and all the way up to like the city there. Like, just strange lights seems to be drawn to that area. And you kind of see reports of it on Facebook and like local groups all the time. But it doesn't surprise me that you saw those in that area. But what does surprise me is this creature that you saw, because my God, that is absolute nightmare fuel.
No, tell me about it.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Also, are you wanting more content? Why not become a Believe Plus member? You'll get access to exclusive podcasts and episodes that aren't available to the public. Not only that, you'll also get our regular feed without any ads. Head to believepod.com/plus to sign up today for just $5 a month. The fact that like you spotted it in the dark while it was already so dark is a real testament to you, I guess, because these things are hard to spot, in the daytime. And the creepy thing about your encounter here is that it was on all fours and kind of moving around a little bit. And I've heard that before a couple of times, especially from encounters with Sasquatch over in the US and in Canada, where they call it kind of like a spider crawl.
Yes, that's exactly what it reminded me of, like a crab or something, like a spider. Yeah,
100%. And a lot of people kind of mention how dexterous it is, like how it can move so incredibly well, kind of on its fingertips and its like tippy toes essentially.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this one was kind of doing the same thing with it, kind of moving backwards and forwards and like side to side, like being like real jittery and kind of weird about it.
Oh yeah, 100%, mate. Like it was like, yeah, because that was what made me notice it. It was like, yeah, really low to the ground. It was like sort of like, just imagine like its head going like really fast, like back and forth, sort of, but like, well, it's down on all fours, but just moving, and then like side to side as well, and just all these different weird, fast, jerky, weird motions. Yeah,
it makes me wonder why they do that, because I mean there has to be a reason. I don't know if it's trying to disguise itself as maybe something else, or
that's right. Yeah, there's got to be some sort of reason behind it. I think. Well, I don't know exactly, but I think that's another detail left out too. I think he was a little bit surprised as well. Yeah. I don't think he expected us to see him. That's another detail I should have put in. Yeah, it's like when he saw us, it was like, sort of like fright sort of thing. Like, but then and then he jumped up and then he got mad and it was like, yeah.
Yeah, like it really is a bizarre encounter, because where you mentioned it, I'll have to remove your address and all of that from the episode. But it's like super suburban. Like this isn't it. You're not in the sticks. You're not in the middle of nowhere. You're right in the middle of like one of the city's biggest capital like suburbs.
I know. That's what gets us too. We're always like, and like, how did no one else see him or hear him or, anything like that?
Yeah.
It's just so...
One thing that I missed was like, what time of the night did this happen?
This would have been about 11, almost gone on midnight. It would have been probably 11:30ish, 11:40ish.
Yeah, okay. So it's kind of like everyone would naturally be kind of moving towards bed and things like that. Things are quieting down. But if this thing roared as loud as you said it did, like everyone in that street would have heard this thing.
Yes, 100%, mate. That's the other thing that gets us too. We're just like, we don't know why. We don't know why that happened, but yeah, just there. And that's what made us think too, he could have been yelling at us telepathically or something. I don't know. It was weird, yeah.
Yeah, and I know it probably feels really weird to say like this weird creature was yelling inside my head, but like don't feel weird about it, because you'll be surprised at how many people have encounters with like Yowies and things like that, where they experience something called mind speak, where these things basically interact or communicate to someone basically in their heads. And for me, it's something that's difficult to grasp, that if these things can do that, like why couldn't it project a yell or something into your head? Like that seems completely feasible. If these creatures are capable of this, why aren't they capable of just doing a yell in your head as well? And
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
completely overloading your senses.
Yep. Well, I think that's because I've heard some stories too, and some people say something about. See, I don't think it was that exactly, because like I said, we heard it. It was like we heard it in our heads, but it was also like that at the same time too. That infrasound, because it like hurt us as well too. Like it rattled us. Like it literally vibrated our heads. It was weird.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it was like a mixture of like he was yelling in our head, but yeah, it was like it hurt too. Like it was, I can't explain it. Like our whole heads, our mum got the same feeling. Like she said the same thing afterwards. Like it almost shook my vision. Like my vision was gone blurry, sort of.
Yeah, so like it had a genuine physical effect on both of you.
Oh, definitely, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Oh man, see that adds to the kind of that terror of that whole situation. And then this thing gets up and starts chasing after your car. That would have been just a moment of just pure disbelief and pure terror, I imagine.
Yeah, mate. Oh my God, it was.
And this thing chasing at like 70 kilometers down these super dark streets.
Yep.
Man, that's some scary stuff.
I know, man. I've never stopped thinking about it. I'm thinking about it every night. Yeah, I think about it.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't blame you at all. Like, especially if you're living in that same house.
Man. Yeah, we are.
Do you like be extra careful? Do you close the windows at night? Because this is a pretty game-changing experience for someone who was a non-believer to have.
I know. Yeah. Well, see, at the start, for a while, I was a bit like that, but now I'm kind of like, I've gone so obsessed with it that I would love to see it again, but when it actually happens, I'll probably be shitting myself, you know what I mean? But I'm like, now I'm at that point where I want to see it again. I always go for a walk down there, and I know it'll never happen again. Like, but I always just walk past down there every time I'm taking dogs for a walk and just have a little sus. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, absolutely. And like, these are the things that, no one plans to have these types of encounters. Like you said, you and your mum were going down to the servo, and for our overseas listeners, a servo was basically like a gas station, and you're going to get some smokes and stuff like that. You weren't planning to go out seeing a Yowie doing a bloody spider walk to chase your car.
No way. No, sure.
So it's truly bizarre, like that this happened in like the same city that I live in, and it's not like Cairns is not like known for Yowie encounters. Like we've had a fair few here that are like pretty good ones, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you and I were talking before we got recording about one that kind of basically happened 100 meters down the road from where I used to live when I was a kid, like growing up.
Yep.
And that too was like a crazy aggressive one. And that one was even further into residential areas than where you encountered yours. So
yes,
it is bizarre. Like Cairns is surrounded by these beautiful mountains, and the fact that like we are kind of like just fully building on the edge of all of the mountains everywhere you go in Cairns, like especially the suburb that you're in is right on basically the edge of those mountains.
Right on the edge, yeah, like, that's right.
Everyone's backyard in that area kind of backs onto millions of acres of bushland. It's crazy.
Yep, sure is. Yeah.
So
I actually, sorry, Cade.
Oh no, you go, mate.
I take my dogs like every now and then too. We go for a walk up to like just where the mountains start, like the bottom of them, and like just into the bush a bit, but yeah, just go for a suss around, take my dogs for a walk there too. So yeah.
Yeah, man, that's the best thing you can do, is because like dogs I swear they have like a sixth sense or something like that.
Oh, definitely, man. 100%.
When something's up, dogs know, like animals know, especially dogs. So like perfect kind of animal to take with you. Yes,
definitely, mate. Bloody oath. Actually, it's funny you say that again. Sorry. You just reminded me of something. You know how I said earlier as well, how I was having the bed rocking and the breath in my face every night. Actually, for a while there, I figured out what you were just saying then. I started bringing my dogs in the room. I noticed every time I banged my dogs in the room, it would stop.
No kidding, hey?
Yeah, it would. It was really strange. It was like not saying that it's not that the dogs scared them off or anything. Like, they mess with animals and stuff too and do all sorts of stuff. But it's just like, they were like, oh, sort of thing, I can't mess with him now, sort of thing. Like the dogs will let him know I'm here. So it's like they just, every time I bring the dogs in the room, it stopped. It was weird.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Does it ever make you wonder, like there was more to that sleep paralysis than it just being sleep paralysis? Because
yes,
that warm breath feeling on the face is like, that's weird.
I know, yeah. It was very, very weird, very strange. Yeah, happened to me every night. Yeah, and the bedrock. Yeah,
that's bizarre. Like that would have been. Do you think like that would have been one of the things that kind of gave you insomnia because like you just didn't want to face that?
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, yeah, it could have been like a subconscious thing. Yeah.
Because the subconscious is so powerful in humans. It's really
right.
It's really crazy, and like maybe that was your. And I'm only speculating, of course. Like I could hear people in the Spotify comments blasting me right now, but like just speculating about it, because it's always. I always like to look at all of these situations with a completely different point of view than what maybe the experiencer has, because you're in those moments and you're so caught up in them that sometimes that external point of view can give you a completely different perspective of it.
Yep.
So you're a believer now, I take it.
100%, mate. Oh, definitely.
What was it that made you go like, no, all this is real? Was it the paralysis? Was it the Yowie sighting? Was it the UFO? Because you've kind of had what I would almost say is the Holy Trinity.
I know, and that's why I hated. Like we don't tell barely no one this, apart from like close friends and like my family and stuff like that. But apart from that, I don't tell this story much, because like I always think it sounds ridiculous. Like people are going to be like, oh, this guy's a dickhead. Like he thinks he's seen a ghost. He thinks he's seen an alien. He thinks he's seen a Yowie. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know what happened, but it did just happen. And probably the thing that got me believing it all was, to be honest, was after the Yowie. As soon as the Yowie thing, then even before, like we've seen the UFOs and stuff in the sky, like I was believing in everything by then. I was like, wow, like demons are real. Like Yowies are real. And I was just, I'd say from the Yowie experience, it was from then I started just believing in everything, having an open mind. Like I was like, everything could be real now.
Yeah, 100%. And the fact that your Yowie encounter was so full on and had like quite a few different kind of interactions with this creature is really, like I said earlier, like that's so game changing to someone's kind of worldview, to their paradigm. Like it completely breaks it, because
definitely
you're seeing this creature, it's not supposed to exist, and now it's chasing you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And not to make a joke of it, but like that's the reality that happened to you.
That's right. Yeah. Well, that's what it was like. I was just like, I was in like a shocked dream state over all them things that happened to me for months. Like basically what you said, I couldn't think straight. I couldn't think clearly. I was just for months, I was in like this weird state. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I just didn't do anything. And like, it's just basically what you said completely shattered my everything. Like,
yeah. Oh man. And the thing that really kind of solidifies your encounter is the fact that you had someone there with you experiencing the same thing. So it's not like you can go, oh nah, like totally made it up, Brandon's got a screw loose, and that's not how it works when you have the same experience with someone right next to you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's what I also like. That's the thing where it helps me tell the story a bit more, because it doesn't look like I was just, like I seen it by myself, like especially with the Yowie anyways, like, because I'm like, my mum was with me, and then same with the UFOs, like Derek was with me as well, so
Yeah. Mate, I have to say, those are some absolutely mind-melting encounters. That Yowie one is insane. I would love to come around and see where this thing was, because that's gonna blow my mind, because the fact that
100%, mate. I could show you.
Yeah, man. Like, let's lock it in, because I am.
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
I'm keen as to check it out.
Okay. I actually have one more thing too, if you have time.
Yeah, of course, mate. Let's sneak it in.
Okay, awesome. Well, this was, excuse me, this was after the UFO incident. So this is where the last thing that happened to me, and this is where it all stopped after this, and everything completely stopped after this, but it was another sleep paralysis dream. And so same thing again as the very first one that started, when I was lying on the couch, doing the exact same thing in the same house, sleeping on my mum's couch in the lounge room. And same thing, again, in the paralysis dream, I couldn't move. And this time, it was like, it wasn't like last time, I couldn't see everything around me, like all the surroundings and the couch and my mum's lounge room. It was like I could see the color of the couch and stuff, but I was on the couch. Everything else was black around me this time. And the first thing I seen, as soon as I went into this dream thing, the first thing I remember seeing was, I know this sounds absolutely ridiculous, but this is what it was. This is what it looked like to me. Do you know Harry Potter? Do you know in The Prisoner of Azkaban? How you first...
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm like a massive Harry Potter nerd.
Oh, okay. So that's... Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. Yeah, well, buddy, the weirdest thing is he looked exactly like a Dementor. Exactly like... Like, imagine the Grim Reaper, but just without the opening at the front, but a rag covering his whole face and the tears going through it. That's the first thing I seen when I went into this stage. It was this Dementor, and he was coming from like the side of me, so his head was coming out like from my right side on the side, if you get what I mean. So like he wasn't like lined up with me.
Yeah.
And he was staring at me, and this one was probably even scarier than the first one where I floated, because I could see this thing, and I had so much fear. I was trying to scream, like I was so scared trying to scream, but I just could not scream because I couldn't move or do nothing. And it was weird. This one, it was like, I can't explain it. I feel like this, I could feel, it's just, I don't know, it's just something like I could feel. Like, it feels like this one had a different energy to the other one when I was floating off my bed. They were both something nasty, but I felt like, I can't explain it, they had different intentions. Like the one that I couldn't see, he was hiding himself. The one in the closet where I was floating off the bed, I felt like, I don't know, it was different with him, but this one was like it was showing itself, and I felt like it was a different energy. Still bad energy, it was scarier, this one, but yeah, this one was more aggressive, and like, yeah, it was like it leaned down closer and closer to my face. And like, do you know when you see on the road when it's really, really hot, like the wavy heat lines?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what was like coming off the side of his head. Like it was these big, I remember that was the other thing that, like when I was looking at him, and then I looked to the sides of his heads, and it was like, as he was leaning in closer, looking at me, it was like these waves coming off his head, like wavy, off both sides of his head. Like he had energy or something coming out of him or something.
Man, that is straight up terrifying. And I don't care what anyone says, man. Dementors are like the scariest things that have ever been imagined. And you've got this one that's like expelling like just heat right next to you is just, I don't like that at all.
Oh, it's absolutely terrifying, man. Yeah.
And that was the last time you had sleep paralysis, was it?
Yep, that was the last time. That was after that one, everything like completely stopped. I didn't see no more weird, strange lights, no creature encounters, no ghost things, nothing. That was it after that one.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Like, because I have no idea how the science of, sleep paralysis works. I do think there's a crossover between sleep paralysis and like the paranormal. I think a lot of things kind of get bunched into sleep paralysis when they're definitely something else.
Yes, 100%.
Like that encounter that you had where you're kind of getting lifted off the bed and you kind of felt different forces and stuff like that. Like for me, that feels like that's not sleep paralysis. I don't think people move around when there's sleep paralysis. It kind of defeats the paralysis part of sleep paralysis.
Yeah, true. I guess that's actually true. I actually thought of it like that, yeah.
And the fact that you're like spinning around your bed, like that's super off to me, and that seems like it's something else. Like that doesn't fit the bill. And sure enough, those first encounters that you spoke about, and maybe even this last one, but I do think there's a genuine crossover of this phenomenon, and one is definitely science-based and explainable, but the other half where you kind of have things happen that don't fit the mold, like that's something different. That's something paranormal.
Yes, for sure.
But man, I have to say, man, I'm glad that stuff is kind of like gone and and not around anymore, because it would be so difficult to like go to sleep and have just normal nights with that kind of thing going on. It would be really, really difficult. And the fact that you're already kind of suffering from insomnia, that makes it just so much harder to just get a decent night's sleep. And then that's when you start to question, like, oh, is this happening? Is this real?
Yes, true.
Like, am I just sleep deprived? It's everything is starting to kind of go against you and trying to make you second guess yourself. But I have to say, like, dude, thank you so much for coming on the show to share your encounters with me. And I'm a big fan. I know that might sound terrible, but a big fan of your Yowie encounter that happened here. Basically,
thanks, mate.
10 minutes down the road from where I'm recording right now.
Yeah.
100%, man. And
that's true.
I'm gonna take you up on your offer to take me to the place, because that's a real head spin, man. So thank you.
Yeah, man, 100%. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Believe Paranormal and UFO podcast. If you have had an encounter and you would like to share it, please get in touch with me. My email address is believepod@gmail.com. Finally, don't forget to follow us on all our social media outlets, and be sure to join our Discord server to talk to other listeners of the show. You'll find all these links in our show notes. Thank you.